Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome you to the Alabama Green Ribbon Schools presentation that we have for you today. This presentation will be recorded for you to view at a later time.
So this webinar is hosted by Legacy Partners in Environmental Education, and thank you, Legacy and Tony, for your partnership. Legacy Partners in Environmental Education has provided high-quality environmental educational programs to Alabama citizens for 30 years. Revenue for Legacy's environmental education programs comes primarily from the sale of Alabama's Protect Our Environment license tag. Other money comes from the partnership program, donations, corporate sponsors, in-kind donations, grants, and special events. Legacy's mission to be a leader in providing science-based environmental information, education, and training while cultivating a legacy of environmental stewardship in Alabama for generations to come. Since its inception, Legacy has awarded nearly $3 million in grants and scholarships and trained more than 5,000 Alabama educators in various workshops. Legacy is a TEAMS-approved AmSty affiliate, providing low-cost professional development to Alabama educators and free environmental materials to Alabama citizens. Legacy's newest program, launched in 2023, provides funding and guidance for 5 teen science cafes. These cafes are helping prepare the next generation of environmental professionals. Legacy is a proud partner with Alabama State Department of Education in supporting the Alabama Green Ribbon Schools. I'm Michal Robinson. I'm the K-12 Science Specialist at the Alabama State Department of Education, and presenting with me is
Johnathan Thompson. I'm the Health and Physical Education and Adaptive Physical Education Specialist at the State Department of Education. Thank you, Dr. Robinson, and thank you, Legacy, for your partnership. We want to say that by the end of this session, here are some of our objectives. We were going to review the mission of Alabama Green Ribbon Schools. We're going to label the 3 Alabama Green Ribbon School pillars. Also list examples for each of those pillars. We're going to show you how to access the Alabama Green Ribbon School application. And then we're going to view the Alabama Green Ribbon School committee to let you know that it's not just Dr. Robinson and I that we oversee the Alabama Green Ribbon School project or program, but we actually have committee members that are experts in each pillar that score the applications when they're submitted. This is just our virtual meeting, virtual housekeeping for a virtual meeting, and you all probably are very familiar with this, but please keep your mic on mute while the host is speaking. If you have any questions or comments, place those in the chat and we'll be happy to answer those. And then just once again, you can take your time to familiarize yourself with the reactions in the virtual platform, which is Zoom, which I'm sure we all are very aware of this. The first activity, and we'll just briefly go over this, but we just want to hear from you. What do you know about Alabama Green Ribbon Schools? You can place either a 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. 1 means you've never heard of it. 2, very little, but you want to know more, and that's why you're here today. And then 3, I know everything there is to know about the Alabama Green Ribbon School program. So we'll take a brief moment to look at the chat. Awesome. Thank you for those. Thank you, Devin, for participating. So I want to thank you for participating in that activity. It just gives us an opportunity to know our participants a little better and know kind of what you bring into this meeting. So yes, most of you put that you know very little, but you want to know more. So we are very thankful that you are here with us today.
So the Alabama Green Ribbon Schools recognizes schools, districts, and institutes of higher education that demonstrate cost-saving, health-promoting, and performance-enhancing sustainability practices. Our Alabama Green Ribbon Schools program is actually modeled after the U.S. Department of Education's Green Ribbon School. And we also have a District Sustainability Award for school districts and the Post-Secondary Sustainability Award category for the Institutes of Higher Education. All the schools that receive the Alabama Green Ribbon School Award are nominated to the U.S. Department of Education's award. Since the inception of this recognition in 2012, there have been 22 Alabama Green Ribbon Schools, districts, or institutes of higher education that have been named for the U.S. Department of Education Green Ribbon School Award. We're very excited about that. The Alabama Green Ribbon School Award recognizes schools, districts, and institutes of higher education that show exemplary dedication to 3 areas, which we call pillars. Go to through creative and dedicated efforts, these entities, as you can see here, reduce the environmental impact and costs of their facilities, improve the health and wellness of their schools, students, and staff, and provide effective environmental and sustainability education. So to be selected, our nominees must show progress in all 3 of these pillars, not just 1 or 2, but all 3 pillars. And each pillar has a number of elements and examples that are within each element. Let's review the elements now. Looking at pillar 1. Pillar 1 is reducing environmental impacts and costs. There are 4 elements in this pillar. Reduce or eliminating greenhouse gas emissions, improve water quality, reduce solid and hazardous waste production, and expanded use of alternative transportation. Let's look at element 1A. Element 1A, we want to show progress in reducing or eliminating greenhouse gas emissions. You can use an energy audit or emissions inventory and reduction plan, cost-effective energy efficiency improvements, conservation measures, and our on-site renewable energy and our purchase of green power. Some examples, and you see them listed here, what that schools can be involved in is to do the energy audit, to use renewable energy, to purchase solar panels in their schools, to do something as simple as adjust your thermostat, can install solar lights, use energy-saving light bulbs, LED lights. Students can turn off computers when not in use. You can even connect the computers or other electronics to power strips or surge protectors and turn off when not in use. You can go to the energy.gov website online to the state energy program to find some federal guidelines for supporting energy efficiency, reducing waste, and improving environmental quality. Also, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has information on green building standards, specifically green globes, and also the Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, which we call LEED, your LEED Certified Design, Construction, and Operation of Building. In element 1B, we're looking at improving water quality, efficiency, and conservation. So some examples that schools can be involved in here are install some high efficiency water sense labeled toilets or retrofit some water saving devices on your existing ones. You can replace equipment when it wears out with water saving models if you have old equipment. Students can be involved in landscaping, developing rain gardens, wildlife habitats, helping the custodians to water the schoolyard first thing in the morning instead of during the day, to be water efficient, because if you water in the middle of the day when it's hot and sunny, it's going to be wasteful because the water evaporates before the plants have time to take it in. And that's a learning lesson for students. Element 1C involves reduced waste production. You can reduce solid and hazardous waste production through increased recycling, reduced consumption, and improved management, reduction, or elimination of hazardous waste. And some tips that you can be involved in school is the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. All students can do that. Thinking green, students can look through last year's materials before they go out and buy new materials for school, because a lot of items can be reused or recycled. You can purchase and use school supplies made from recycled products. When we were at Drew Middle School, one of the teachers gave us pencils that had been made from recycled materials. So you'll be surprised at how much recycled materials, products are out there right now. You can keep waste out of landfills by using school supplies that are wrapped in products that that can be recycled. Students can do a lot of things in the classroom, saving packaging, colored paper, egg cartons, and other items for arts and crafts products. And just using a bunch of green cleaning products for cleaning. There are a bunch of them that are available as well. In the cafeteria, you can carry your food in reusable plastic or cloth bags, bring drinks in thermos instead of using water bottles or disposable bottles, and work with your teachers to set up composting programs at school. Recycle cans and recycle bottles when you finish eating. So there are a bunch of tips for waste management that we can be involved in, and I have a bunch more if you're interested in them. For element 1D, use of alternative transportation, you can do walking. Students can walk to school if they have someone to walk with them. Biking, of course, buses that run on alternative fuel, and we have examples of those throughout the various school districts here in the state of Alabama. Tuscaloosa City, which is one of our U.S. Department of Education District Sustainability Award winners, actually does use alternative fuel for their buses. And just finding ways to increase places for students who, in areas where it is possible to use their bikes and store them.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Robinson, for giving us an overview of Pillar 1. So that takes us just to a couple of questions that we'll ask our participants to answer in the chat. What can you do based on the information Dr. Robinson gave us? What can you do to support Pillar 1 in your school? Just pick one thing and place that in the chat.
I see a question about a list of alternative fuels that are acceptable. And there is a list of alternative fuels that I found on a website actually earlier today. And I will, Janet, send it to you if I can find it. I have a whole bunch of things opened up on my computer now. If I can still find it, I'll put it in the chat. If not, I will email it to you.
Okay, thank you. And then the final question that you can place your answer in the chat is, what can your school or district do to meet Pillar 1? So I want you to think about that for a second. Oh, Janet, thank you for sharing that information. I have a certified outdoor classroom, one of the few high schools. Is that correct? Thank you. Thank you, Janet. Okay, great. So now we're going to move on because, like we said, there are 3 pillars. So we're going to move on to Pillar 2, which is improving the health and wellness of students and staff. And there are, once again, two elements for this. One is Integrated School Environmental Health Program, and then element 2B is health and wellness. So we'll take a deeper dive into those on the next few slides. Okay, so when we look at element 2A, which is Integrated School Environmental Health Program, I just want to say that an integrated school environmental health program is one that considers occupant health and safety in all design, construction, renovation, operations, and even maintenance of facilities and grounds. So think of that, and you'll probably see some of this listed here in bullet form on the slide. Many districts have a campaign to reduce asthma triggers. Many districts have an integrated pest management program. Many of our past award winners have looked at lighting and acoustics in the classroom and did a kind of a mold patrol, like an assessment on mold. And of course, I would say just about all of our schools more than likely have some type of tobacco policy in place. So those are just a couple of the things listed, a couple of examples listed for element 2A, which is Integrated School Environmental Health Program. And then the next one, which is 2B, is really concentrate more on nutrition and fitness. And when you see this, we'll talk a little bit about the what we call the WISC model. And that's the WISC model is the whole school, whole community, whole child health model. It includes health, nutrition, outdoor physical education, health, counseling, and all this is for both students and staff, family, community involvement. And this model is CDC's framework for addressing health in schools. So like I said, a lot of people refer to it as the WISC model. The WISC model has 10 components. And I'll go through just a few of these for you. One is physical education and physical activity. And we all know that that's, an extremely important piece to health. And then also, once again, nutrition, right? You can have physical activity, you can have physical education, but our kids also need a quality nutrition as well. They look at health education, physical environment, health services, counseling services, and remember, we talked about that with this model, they also look at staff wellness. And so you'll see that employee wellness is listed as one of the 10 components, community involvement, and family engagement. So you'll see some of the bullets listed here. Many of our schools have a farm to school program where they have school gardens or raised beds. Where they raise vegetables and things like that for their school and community. One of our schools actually had a garden. One of the schools that won last year had a garden that actually members of the community came and helped with that, helped tend the garden. And then another school has the students get involved with that. Each grade level would have a week or a month that they would go tend to the garden. So that's one thing that a lot of our schools have. And you'll see here another thing listed when you're talking about for staff. There's a lot of staff fitness incentives. Some of our schools have like an after-school fitness program for their staff. They encourage their staff to participate in, various programs as a group when it comes to fitness, such as walking together or exercising together. To meet some of those staff fitness program requirements. And next, a lot of our schools have an anti-bullying program and peer-to-peer counseling as well. So, like I said, it's not as many elements as Dr. Robinson had in Pillar 1. Pillar 2 only had 2. So my next question that I would love for you to place in the chat is just what can you do to support Pillar 2? And then what can your school or district do to meet the Pillar 2 elements? I'll give you a second to answer that. And we'll answer some of these questions here at the end. Absolutely. Thank you, Janet, for those questions. All right, now I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Robinson for Pillar 3.
So Pillar 3 has 3 elements. We're looking at providing effective environmental and sustainability education. This is my favorite part because it deals with how we can infuse this into curriculum and instruction. And that's my area. So element 3A involves a shared responsibility for environmental learning. So we're looking at interdisciplinary learning about the key relationships between our dynamic environmental, energy, and human systems. Let's go to that slide. So some of the things that you can be involved in here are environmental literacy programs. We did write an environmental literacy program here in the state of Alabama. It has not been, it was not approved or not sent to the board for approval, but so I'm pretty sure it needs to be updated. So that may be something we can do on the state level, or you can be involved with us in doing this at state level in updating that environmental literacy requirement. We outdoor experiences with students with gardening, habitats, just making environmental learning a school-wide project or a themed curriculum through integrated learning are some ways you can incorporate this shared responsibility for environmental learning. The use of environment to develop STEM content, knowledge, and thinking skills. We want to prepare our graduates for 21st century technology-driven economy. So we actually have in Alabama environmental science for high school students. There is AP environmental science that can be offered, and for schools that have the International Baccalaureate curriculum, there's an IB environmental science course that can be taken as well. In the Career Tech program, there is an environmental management course and environmental engineering as well. So if we can use the environment as a STEM focus to solve problems through the engineering design process, so we can incorporate that and make sure that our students are using those critical thinking skills that we want them to have in order to help improve the environment. Element 3C, development of civic knowledge and skills, and students' application of these knowledge and skills to address sustainability and environmental issues in their community. We can involve students in community projects that are actually environmental in nature. There are actually grants available out there that teachers and school districts can apply for through NOAA, which is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine through the Gulf Research Program Division. All of those grants actually are out there to increase awareness of environmental issues and help our students to become advocates and reshape their thinking about the environment and how we as humans are a part within this environment. So there are several ways that you can support this pillar. Are there any ways that you can think of to support it? And I think I saw something in the chat. Not sure if that was an answer.
Oh, yeah, Janet said that she would love to help update the Alabama Environmental Literacy Program. So we got to take note of that, right, Dr. Robinson?
Yeah, that's wonderful. We need to get that group started again to do that. And I do see that can an example work for 2 elements? Yeah, you can, as long as you're showing progress for that particular pillar. There have been others who have used the examples for more than one pillar, as long as you have other examples as well. And I see, this is from Janet, you teach research and design in biology. That's one of our elective courses, and you can actually use that course to incorporate some STEM as well. That's an elective. It doesn't count as a science course, science credit, but it can be used as an elective for that. That's great. I'm glad you're using those courses.
Yes, I love that.
Wonderful.
Thank you,
And
Jan.
we want to encourage everyone to apply if you have not, if you've applied before and didn't quite make it, apply again, take the feedback that you were given previously and use that feedback to strengthen your application and apply again.
Yes, please do. Please do. So here we have a few links that we felt was very, very important that would be very important for you to have. So first is the application information. So if you click on this link, you will see everything you need for the application. So here's the application for 23-24. And you just go through and you'll answer the questions, you'll check the boxes, and it tells you for a summary, it's just 1 to 2 paragraphs. That actually changed. It used to be 1 to 2 pages, but now we kind of model our application, like Dr. Robinson said, off of the U.S. Department of Education's application, and they have now changed that to 1 to 2 paragraphs. So you just go through here and begin completing the application. Okay. Next, the big question, when is this due? Okay, so the due date for application submission either to Dr. Robinson or myself is December 1st, 2023. Okay, so you're right under a month to get that complete. Here's a list of our committee members. And like I said earlier, Dr. Michal Robinson and myself, we only kind of oversee the program, but we have committee members that are experts in each pillar that will be scoring your applications, and you'll see a list of those people there. We have a lot of great partners. We actually, Dr. Robinson, have had people, partners reach out to us and want to be a part of this committee, right? So they really love the Alabama Green Ribbon Schools program and actually have asked to be a part of it. So you'll see their area of expertise here on the list. So it's not Dr. Robinson and I who either give you the check that yes, this is you know, you're going to receive the award or you're not. It is a committee that scores, just to help you with that. So next, we also wanted to try to help you because we really want you to apply. We want your application because we know that you all are doing great things and we want that to be highlighted. So a lot of times we're like, okay, where do you start? That's the question, right? It's kind of, where do I start? Do I have an example I can look at? And yes, we have provided 2 examples from last year. One was a district winner, which was Gulf Shore City Schools, and the other was a school winner, which was Shades Mountain Elementary School. Now, how this works is they were both Alabama winners first, based on the committee scores. Then we submit the applications of the award winners from Alabama. We submit those to the U.S. Department of Education, and they have a committee that will look at the applications and score them. And it just so happened that both applications that we submitted, so both districts in school that represented Alabama, they won the U.S. Department of Education award and made a trip to Washington, D.C. to receive their award. And then finally, we provided another link to the U.S. Department of Education's Green Ribbon School website, where you can find past award winners. They have all listed from the state of Alabama and other states, not just 22-23 winners. There are previous winners listed too. So those would be great applications to look at, because once again, we model our application process off of the U.S. Department of Education, U.S. Department of Education's application. So with that being said, Dr. Robinson, is there anything you want to add to that?
I do want to mention that we had a wonderful time in DC with the U.S. Department of Education when our Alabama winners were awarded the U.S. Department of Education's Green Ribbon Schools and District Sustainability Awards. We spent, well, it was a week-long activity, full of activities, but we had one day where there was professional learning, networking with others, and where they actually received the award. They had lunch for them, reception for them that evening, and it was a beautiful occasion. And so we are really hoping that we will have someone to go this next year as well to represent Alabama. Alabama has been represented almost every year since 2012. So we know that we are doing what we are supposed to do in terms of sustainability here in the state, because we are being recognized at the U.S. Department of Education, and we want to continue that.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Robinson. So at this time, we are going to pause for any questions, but I will stop the recording because a lot of times that encourages people to ask more questions when they know they're not being recorded. So I'll now stop the recording, and I will share. I will give you opportunity to have to ask any questions. So let me do that.